Ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing today? With 2 days left in my THORnews Save THORnews fundraiser, we have $115 to go. If you would like me to give you dang near complete coverage, nonstop, all day, every day, I got $115 in donations left to raise. And let me tell you, it is going to be an active 2 months. So you can contribute by sending me a letter. I love those. I got a PayPal link, a Venmo link, a CashApp, and a Patron. And I appreciate everyone who has come out in support for me this month, last month, and through the 7 years that I've been doing this. Comments are off because I'm a little bit emotionally unstable right now because Josh Morgerman, Cyclone, was last heard from in the Grand Bahama Islands over a day ago. He goes into hurricanes and he covers them, and he is missing, and 50,000 people in the Grand Bahama Island are in danger. And many have already lost their lives as Hurricane Dorian stays stationed over the Grand Bahama Islands. And the big question is, where will it go next? And so we are going to watch the models right now. And so if that is your thing and you want to take a look at the models with me, that's what I'm going to do. And the models have good news for Florida and bad news for North Carolina and possibly South Carolina. We're looking at the GFS, the latest run, and it has it staying pretty much offshore of Florida, Georgia, and South Carolina, and then it brings it through the Outer Banks and North Carolina, with making landfall in OBX. And I want you to watch how, as it leaves into this area, it seems to have a whole lot of rain. And so areas of the Northeast will be getting affected as well. I think it's gone down to a Category 4 hurricane, although it could strengthen again. Doubtfully, though. I doubt it'll get back to Cat 5, but it could. Did you see that giant chunk? So GFS has North Carolina landfall on the 6th. And on the 16th, the GFS also shows us the hurricane that could possibly hit New England through New Jersey on the 16th. So that's interesting, right? Been talking about that one since April. Now we are looking at the Euro model, latest run. It keeps Hurricane Dorian offshore, skirts the coast, but it looks like it might make landfall in the Outer Banks of North Carolina around the 6th. And the GFS Legacy has it sitting and spinning, then staying off the coast, but making landfall around North Carolina and the Outer Banks around the 6th. And then the GEM brings it the closest to the Florida coast, and then has it missing without any landfall in the United States. Now let us take a look at the NavGem. Keeps it offshore, and then it has it crossing over with a landfall in the Outer Banks of North Carolina, although most of them have it hitting Nova Scotia. I should mention that. Now we're looking at the JMA. And that has it get the closest to Florida and have landfall in the Outer Banks. So this would have it stall out and then go back to the west, almost even touch Palm Beach, and then go back to the west. You see that? Technically, that might even be a landfall just north of Palm Beach. Now we're looking at the icon. Man, it's going slow. And I guess not that slow. But yeah, look at that beast into Nova Scotia. So this has it moving forward tomorrow. Stays pretty much off the coast until landfall in North and South Carolina. Now we're just looking at the difference of the total precipitation tracks. This one will bring 5 to 7 inches of rain across the Florida coast, and then anywhere from 10 to 20 inches to South and North Carolina and Virginia. This one would bring most of the heavy rain just to the tips of South Carolina, Virginia. This would definitely bring some heavy rain into South Carolina, North Carolina. It looks like Florida's going to get 5 to 7 on the coast either way. And then this would bring the heavier rainfall totals through South Carolina, North Carolina, and Virginia. And everybody's pretty much got everybody along the coast getting 5 to 7 inches of rain. Everything is subject to change. Expect surprises. Ultimately, it is your responsibility to do your due diligence and make your decisions. Though it seems like most worst case scenarios are off the board for everybody except for North Carolina. But this has been one of the weirdest storms I've ever covered, and definitely this stop and stall Harvey-like has been scary, and it's definitely devastating for the Bahamas. I don't know if you've watched the footage from the Grand Bahama Island, but the majority of the island is underwater. The water is up to the rooftops. See, this tilted. Now this shows it trying to go to the northwest. So the best case scenario, it just goes freaking out to sea. It's to try and punch it out to sea with your mind. Although then people will come and yell at me, "Oh, it was a nothing burger." Yeah. Anyway, I will continue to do my best to try and cover this for you. I always recommend checking out Cranky Weather Guy's blog. And if you do want to help save THORnews for the next month, you can contribute. But yeah, I'm pretty sure this is going to be like my last hurricane season, man. For sure. So, I'd like to keep doing this through September and October. But yeah, this is no fun for me. If you think hurricane seasons are fun for me, they're not. And do it out of duty, honor, and responsibility. So everybody stay cool or don't. Let's face it, America really hasn't been a whole lot of fun. And America, it's not like everybody's super cool, super nice, super kind all the time. And funny. Yeah, I wish we were all funny. Okay. Anyway, stay cool and say a prayer for the people of Grand Bahama and Josh Morgan. He's a cool dude, and I've cried a couple times worrying he could die and worrying we could lose thousands of people in Grand Bahama Island. I have empathy, so I feel what people feel, man. People who don't feel what other people feel are lucky. God bless everyone.